position on the table. We want to have the top spot because the advantage of having the top spot in this group is you avoid the round of 32. If you top the group with the highest point, you avoid the round of 32. You move straight to round of 16, and you avoid playing two extra matches, which is fantastic. So even though it's at the Emirates, we cannot afford to take the match for granted. So I'm expecting Arsenal to have a mixture of the experienced guys and a limited number of the French players. Now I expect the likes of Holding to play tomorrow, Turner, the second choice keeper, to play tomorrow. I will not be surprised if he goes for a strong back four. Bring Sam Lokonga back with an experienced partner like Xhaka. I expect Fabio Vieira to play the number 10. All the guys should be on the bench. Then Martinelli was ill today. He didn't take part in the training session. Hopefully he makes it tomorrow. That's 50-50 touch wood. Hopefully he makes it. He doesn't have an injury. He's just ill. Hopefully he makes it. Saka needs a bit of rest. We saw how lethargy they were in the game against Leeds. So even though we need to manage the minutes for the players, but we need to get this fixture over with. We cannot afford a draw or a loss. We can't afford that. So we need to win this match. The advantage is that we are playing at home at the Emirates. We are not flying to PSV, or we are not flying across Europe to the north of the Arctic or the middle of the Arctic. We are playing at home. So if they play tomorrow, they can actually have a training session on Friday and on Saturday. So there's no logistics of flying over and coming back in the morning. So hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Stick a like on the video for the algorithm and turn on the notification bell. Make sure you check it to confirm that it's turned on for notifications. So when I drop the pre-recorded videos, you can get an alert, or when I go on a live stream, you can get the alert. I'm going to reviewing the Europa League match tomorrow. Arsenal at home at the Emirates against PSV. This should be a very interesting tie. We know PSV are the strongest opposition we have in the group. We know that, right? Let's confirm that they are the strong opposition. Arsenal have played 3 games, 3 wins. PSV has played 3 games, 2 wins and 1 draw. They have 7 points. We have 9 points. They are the strongest opposition to us. We know they have a decent manager in Ruud van Nistelrooy. We used to play for our rivals from Old Trafford at the Manchester United. We know the rival they had at the time was playing for Manchester United against the likes of what's his name? Martin Keown and so forth. So let's see if the rivalry in terms of his managerial career is going to be reignited with Arsenal, but Arteta is in the dugout. Let's see how it plays out, but it's looking to be an interesting match. PSV are no mugs. Like I said before, they are the strongest opposition we have in the table. Now, I'm expecting a tougher match. Now, I do not know how Arteta is going to actually decide to attack this match. Does it go for the strongest 11, or does it mix it up? Now, we know PSV are a decent team. They are the second team on the table at the Dutch league. So we know the Dutch league, even though we call it the Farmers League sometimes, they have some good players. It's not as competitive as English Premiership, but on a given day, if you let them play, they can hurt you. So we know that we are vying for the top position on the table. We want to have the top spot because the advantage of having the top spot in this group is you avoid the round of 32. If you top the group with the highest point, you avoid the round of 32. You move straight to round of 16, and you avoid playing two extra matches, which is fantastic. So even though it's at the Emirates, we cannot afford to take the match for granted. So I'm expecting Arsenal to have a mixture of the experienced guys and a limited number of the French players. Now I expect the likes of Holding to play tomorrow, Turner, the second choice keeper, to play tomorrow. I will not be surprised if he goes for a strong back four. Bring Sam Lokonga back with an experienced partner like Xhaka. I expect Fabio Vieira to play the number 10. All the guys should be on the bench. Then Martinelli was ill today. He didn't take part in the training session. Hopefully he makes it tomorrow. That's 50-50 touch wood. Hopefully he makes it. He doesn't have an injury. He's just ill. Hopefully he makes it. Saka needs a bit of rest. We saw how lethargy they were in the game against Leeds. So even though we need to manage the minutes for the players, but we need to get this fixture over with. We cannot afford a draw or a loss. We can't afford that. So we need to win this match. The advantage is that we are playing at home at the Emirates. We are not flying to PSV, or we are not flying across Europe to the north of the Arctic or the middle of the Arctic. We are playing at home. So if they play tomorrow, they can actually have a training session on Friday and on Saturday. So there's no logistics of flying over and coming back in the morning. So it suits us a little bit. Hopefully we have a better performance than we saw against Bodo Glimt and later the weekend. So I'm not surprised if Jesus starts, but I'm expecting Ketia to start, but Jesus can be on the bench. Like I said, the players had a terrible, horrifying performance against Leeds. We need a better performance. We need a better performance to actually take the 3 points against PSV. So I expect a very strong first 11 and a strong reserve bench. Like Tocho, hopefully Martinelli makes it to the squad or to the first team tomorrow, or Saka starts or stays on the bench. So like I'm expecting a relatively strong team because we cannot afford to have 50-50 rotation. Hence, PSV could nick out 3 points. And if we give the advantage to PSV, it will be difficult for us to wrestle back the advantage. So we need to be very sensible. I know we have a game at the weekend against Southampton, which you have to win, and I get it. We are top of the segment in the English Premiership. We need to maintain that. We need to balance that. But at the same time, you cannot take the Europa League for granted. Like winning the group gives you that incentive of not playing in round of 32. You move straight to the round of 16. So I will not be surprised if you decide to play a full first 11 tomorrow. Just get the game, just win the game. Because it's PSV. You cannot overly rotate. This is not Bodo Glimt. This is not FC Zurich. This is PSV. They might not be the powerhouse they used to be before, but they still have the same player like Gakpo that is being linked to the likes of Real Madrid, Manchester United, even to Arsenal. So we'll actually see Gakpo tomorrow. We'll see how great he is as a winger. We'll see him tomorrow in the flesh. So I know PSV manager Ruud van Nistelrooy will love the fact that he can come to the Emirates and actually make the 3 points, which we cannot allow. And I know Arteta is a manager, very ambitious. He wears his heart on his sleeve. A bit egotistical. He will want to win the game. He will want to get this match done and the points secured as quick as possible. So I expect Arsenal to go into that match with all seriousness and win convincingly. So I expect the likes of Holding, there is no room for mistakes tomorrow. We need to take the match as serious as possible and win the match. Even though if we win tomorrow, we don't yet win the group. There are 2 more matches to. There's six more points. So let's look at the table so we can analyze what we need to do to win the group. The table is right here. We have 9 points. I have 7 points. Both teams have played 3 games. So there are 3 games to go. After playing tomorrow, it will be 2 games. So we are leading with just 2 points. So we need to win our next 2 matches. And if PSV lose their next 2, then we can win. Even though PSV lose against us tomorrow and they win their next 2 matches and we draw or we don't win our next 2 matches, we might not actually win the group. So it's very imperative for us to win tomorrow. Then go to PSV. If possible, if you don't win, at least get a draw. So that puts our faith in our hand against FC Zurich in the last game and we can actually win emphatically and win the group. The key thing, we cannot afford a draw tomorrow, in my opinion, or a loss tomorrow. So we need to take the match with all seriousness. I don't know so much about the Eredivisie, the Dutch league. All I know, PSV are second on their league table. They are playing well. They have their star winger is Gakpo, and they have some good and decent players. And they have Ruud van Nistelrooy, who would like to prove a point. So we should not take this match for granted. We see all this talk and all this narrative of let's play likes of Cedric. No, I'm sorry, no. Ben White needs to start tomorrow. Tomiyasu to start the right back. We need Corinthian to start the left back. Now, Holding, I don't trust him, but if you pair him with a Saliba or a Gabriel Magalhaes, he won't be that exposed. Turner for me is a good goalkeeper that can deputize for Ramsdale, so I'm secure there. The midfield, now I don't want to risk Partey, but at the same time, you can play Sambi and Xhaka for me can do a very good job. And it's time for Fabio Vieira to hold that number 10 and actually step up his game. His last game against Bodø/Glimt away was horrific, was pedestrian, was very poor. He needs to show. I've seen him. He has not shown too much, but you can tell that he has the skill set, he has the movement, he has the trickery and the artistry to do more than what he did in the last game. So let's see how he's going to hold the game by score of his next tomorrow. I think he plays better as a 10, even though he was used as an 8 in the last game, which is not his natural position, in my opinion. So let's see him as a 10 tomorrow, and let's see what he can do. I'm expecting Eddie to start tomorrow. I won't be surprised if Jesus start, but I'm expecting Eddie to start tomorrow. Eddie should be able to actually, he doesn't have the prowess or the levels like Jesus, but he is not far off. He's not a terrible deputy for Jesus. So I expect him to come in tomorrow and do a fantastic job at home with the fans behind him, with Fabio Vieira behind him. I think he should do more than he did at Bodø/Glimt. I can't actually write him up based on performance at Norway at Bodø/Glimt because the whole team stank up the place that day. So you cannot actually blame Eddie when the team performance was actually bad. So individually, I'm not going to lay any blame or actually overly criticize Eddie for that performance. I've seen him in other games do well. So let's see how it's going to be tomorrow. If you ask to predict the scoreline tomorrow, I think we should be able to win it. I don't think it will be that emphatic. I'm expecting at least a 2-0. I'll say 2-0 win tomorrow. I expect us to keep a clean sheet and win at least by 2-0 margin. What do you guys think? And what do you think your own prediction of the lineup will be? Leave it in the comment section and give me the reason why you think. Let me see. Give me something about the game that actually threatens you, because like I said, we cannot afford to overly rotate tomorrow. I'm being serious. I understand PSV, they play in the Dutch league. The Dutch league is not as strong as the English Premiership. We know the history of PSV. They've been playing the Champions League for a long time. They might not be as strong, but if we take the match for granted, we will take an unpleasant surprise. So we cannot afford to push over rotation. And I know Arteta is smart enough to take this match as seriously as possible and play at least 80% of his first 11 so you can get this match done and dusted out of the way. I understand the scare and the threat of injury. Come on. Like, just stop hoping for the worst things. These guys are professional players. They can take care of themselves. Whether they play or not, injuries can happen anytime. Even though playing, it gives you that vulnerability or possibility of injury. But guess what? You cannot always prevent it, especially if you think that by not playing players, that means they won't get injured. They can get injured at training. They can get injured at their houses. They can get injured trying to go to the bathroom. So let's take away that nervousness, that fear of injury. Let these players play. They are professionals. They are taking care of themselves. And luckily, we are playing at home this time. So I think we should be able to win the game. If you have a different opinion, leave a comment section. Like I said, if you like my content, make sure you subscribe and support this channel with your subscription, with your liking the video. That's the support I'm asking for. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. And make sure you turn the notification bell, and I'll see you guys at the review. Hopefully, we have a fantastic victory to celebrate. Ciao.